This is episode 710, and I'm Greg Swanson. Today we're going to be talking about how to cultivate unshakable confidence, basically developing a warrior mindset. So, what if you could walk on fire and not flinch? And I've been privileged and honored enough to be trained by Tony Burkan, who actually trained Tony Robbins on how to do firewalks. So I learned how to prepare, not just walk on, but prepare firewalks, glass walks, breaking arrows with your throat, bending rebar with your neck, all of these fun things. But imagine, what if you could walk on fire and just not flinch, just know everything's going to be okay? Life throws punches, hard ones. Some people crumble while others rise unshaken. They just kind of shake the dust off their back. What's the difference here? Unshakable confidence. The kind warriors, not kind warriors, but the kind that warriors carry into battle, right? And here's the secret. Confidence isn't something you're born with. Many of us think that, oh, you're a natural born leader, you're a natural confident, you're a natural warrior. No, confidence is not something you're born with. It's something you train for and develop. And so what is the warrior's mindset? So part of the mindset, right, is confidence. And actually, when we talk about mental strength, one of the 4 C's is confidence. Confidence in your skills and ability, as well as confidence in your interpersonal communication. So let's take a look at what is the warrior mindset. It's unshakable confidence. And I work with a lot of clients, and they think that confidence means they have to know all the answers. They have to know everything. And I like to look at confidence in that no matter what happens, you'll be okay. Because then you can approach any situation from an honest perspective. If you know the answer, I don't, great. If you don't, I don't know. If you don't know the way, right? Whatever the situation is, if you know no matter what happens, you'll be okay. That can just establish such a strong, unshakable confidence, right? So this is not, arrogance, and it's not recklessness like, oh, I'm going to jump off this bridge and I know I'm going to be okay. Well, if you don't have a bungee cord attached, that's probably the wrong thing to do. But so it's not this arrogance on get out of my way, I have this unshakable confidence, I know I can do it. Well, it's not knowing that you can do it. It's knowing that if you don't do it, you'll be okay. So it's knowing that no matter what happens, you can handle it, right? This is where the true confidence comes in. I mean, just imagine facing any situation, knowing that you're going to come out the other end. You'll go into those situations with complete confidence. It's built through experience, right? Your confidence through facing challenges and coming out stronger on the other side. A lot of times I have my clients go back and look at if they've been in, a corporate career for a while, go back every year and what's the biggest success they had during that year. Then I'll ask them to do 2 and 3 things for those years, 5 years back. And when we can do a checklist or acknowledge that we've done some great things, we then, that's the supporting evidence that, helps us with our confidence. So here is the power. When we have this, that's how we get it. And so now let's take a look at the power of unshakable confidence, right? You take action without hesitation. Granted, we want to make sure that we have enough information to take that action. We don't want to be reckless with it. But once we have the information and we know what we have to do, and we just do it. It's kind of like I have a lot of inside sales clients, and they're really phone reluctant. And it's like, but once they have the confidence, hey, you can call up this person, they hang up on you. You're going to be okay? Yeah. So give them a call. So then they start taking action when they know that no matter how the person responds on the other side of the phone, they're going to be okay. Then they just take actions. I remember when I did my bungee jump when I think it was my 60th birthday. Maybe it was my 50th. Who knows? Memory goes with old age, right? Anyway, that's a very limiting belief. But anyway, once I got there and they talked me through what's going to happen, and they put the bungee cord on me, and they said, we want you to look out over that and look at that mountain. And when we say jump, we want you to jump. And most people I was watching ahead of time, they would hesitate. They would walk back and forth when the person would say jump. And they said jump. I just did it without hesitation. And it was really amazing. There was no hesitation with it already. I'm not sharing this with you because I think I'm so great. But what happened since then, I have always taken action quickly. I mean, I took action before then, but I would sit and mull it over. What's the pros and cons? What's this? And then when I would dissect it to death, then I'd take action. But since that bungee jump, when I knew I was safe, when I knew everything was there, boom, I took action, just jumped off immediately. So when you have unshakable confidence, you're going to take action without hesitation. You bounce back from failures faster than before, and actually you don't even label them failures. You just label them as a way that didn't work. Albert Einstein or Thomas Edison talked about he didn't fail 10,000 times. He successfully found 10,000 times that didn't work. Well, that's kind of, you bounce back from failures faster. So it's not failures, it's just feedback. So you try something, you get feedback, and then you correct and continue. And you do this without hesitation. Now, you stop seeking approval because you trust yourself. Many times we go looking for approval to take some sort of an action to do something because we don't know if we're making the right decision. And then we talk to 5 people and we get 5 different decisions. And then we get stuck with paralysis by analysis. And then we never take action. But when you trust yourself, when you trust your gut instinct, because you have taken action before in the past and trusted yourself, you're going to stop seeking the approval of others and just know deep down you're doing the right thing. You embrace challenges as opposed to avoiding them. Maybe you purposely do a cold plunge or a cryo chamber, or maybe you purposely walk on fire. Maybe you purposely walk on, but whatever it is, it could be small challenges, it could be big ones, but you embrace them and you go through them because you know that no matter what happens, you'll be okay. Confidence is a skill. And like any skill, it can be trained. And here's how to train it, right? Strategies for developing mental resilience, right? Reframe adversity as training. So when something goes wrong, you go, hey, this is showing me how to proceed in the right direction, right? We just want to reframe adversity as a training. So this is training for life. This is training for something bigger, and maybe you've stubbed your toe or whatever it might be, but you look at it as training, right? And you want to cultivate daily discipline. One of the big things I work with a lot of corporate clients is developing this concept of an ideal day as a tabletop. You have an AM routine, a PM routine, a work routine, and a sleep routine. And you want to create that daily discipline around each of those 4 legs, that when you wake up, you meditate, you exercise, you drink water, whatever that might be. When you get ready to go to sleep, you prepare for the next day, you have your sleep, and at work. You want to create this discipline. We don't want it so packed with discipline that we don't have room for spontaneity, but those important things that anchor us, we want to have that daily discipline. For myself, I wake up early, meditate for a half hour, go to the gym, work out for about an hour and a half, come back, shower, breakfast, start doing some creative stuff. Every single day, I know what I have to do and I accomplish that. Developing unwavering self-trust. This can be something that is, when you start listening to your gut, basically your soul, when you start listening to it and taking actions, you'll get feedback and you'll understand the difference between your soul voice and your ego voice. And when you start to know the difference, you'll start to develop this self-trust. In this self-trust is that you know that whatever action you take, you're going to be okay. But we want to make sure that through practice and reflection that you understand, okay, I felt this in my gut today, I did this and it worked out. Well, I heard this voice in my head and I did this, it didn't work out. Maybe the voice in the head is the ego and the feeling in the gut is your sixth sense, your soul talking to you. So how to overcome fear and doubt, right? So recognize fear for what it is. I'm not going to do the false evidence as appearing real, but fear is mentally rehearsing something you don't want to have happen. So when we recognize fear, now there are other fears, right? If you're out in the woods and a bear's around you, you want to be careful. There's fear from danger, and there's fear from just making it up in your mind, right? Fear for asking the boss for a raise, fear of asking this person out, fear for trying a PR, fear for calling up a CEO and making a sales pitch to him. All of those fear-based activities are mentally rehearsing something you don't want to have happen. So we have to understand what that fear is. And then we use the 3-second rule. When we have something, we're going to call this individual up. Let's say you're a salesperson, want to call a CEO, and you get this fear. You go 1, 2, 3, and you just pick it up, right? You just pick up the phone and do it. You count yourself down, right? You act fast and then refine. So you act fast, you call, and then if it didn't work out, the next time you act fast again, you don't sit there and mull about what is this person going to say, but you refine your approach. We want to act fast and then refine. So here are some daily practices to strengthen your warrior's mindset, right? It's morning rituals. Just talked about that a few minutes ago. Most people wake up and check their smartphone. I would say adamantly stop it. When you go to bed, so your PM routine and night routine is you take your phone and put it away. If you use it for your alarm, you put it in airplane mode, whatever it is. But your morning rituals are to help you get focused, energized, and create a positive attitude. I don't think smartphones and watching the news and checking emails and checking texts are going to help you get focused on what you have to do. It's going to create a positive mindset and get you prepared for the day. So you want to have good, solid morning rituals. Journaling. At the end of the day, reflect on your day. It could be including some gratitude in there. Could be reflecting on, hey, here's my emotions that I felt during the day, and here's why I felt them. There's so many powerful ways to use journaling to reflect on what you have done that you can then correct and continue the next day. Do hard things. One of the things that what I love about lifting weights is a lot of people will just go, they'll count the reps. Okay, I'm done with 8 reps. They could have done 40 of them, but they stop at 8. So when you get to the gym and you lift, you want to lift some of them to failure. You want to be used to feeling uncomfortable. If you're running and you've always run a 10-minute mile, well, maybe today you run a 9-minute and 50. You do uncomfortable things. It's really easy to do hard things physically. And this is why I like to do it physically, because how you do anything is a reflection of how you do everything. So do hard things. Maybe the hard thing for you today is to say no. No to people jumping on your calendar. No to people just barging into your office. Maybe those are the hard things you need to do. But you need to step out of your comfort zone and do hard things every day. So here's some final thoughts, right? Confidence isn't magic. It's a choice. It's a practice and a commitment. You don't wait for it, you build it every day through action, through discipline, through stepping up when fear tells you to step back. So start today. Pick one strategy and commit to it. Train your mind like a warrior, and soon unshakable confidence will become who you are, not just something you chase. If you want to see the show notes on this podcast, you can visit warriormindcoach.com. While you're there, you can get some more information through podcasts and blog posts, as well as requesting a breakthrough session. Since you'll be on the internet, please follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest under Warrior Mind Coach.